help out here. Okay, so we're in the satellite truck. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to start the generator. And then we just kind of let it, I always just rule of thumb, just let it run for a little bit. Here, we got to kick some things on. I don't think we need to worry about the heater blocks. Oh, we got to turn the generator on here.
Yeah, kick the power legs over to the generator.
Power legs over.
And then you got a main breaker.
And we got our mains and aux.
Aux you don't need to worry about.
We're not going to worry about aux, but we are going to do the mains. And then we start kicking a bunch of stuff on here. These two we don't, and then the rest of them I think.
Yeah, the interior lights.
This one, which we learned, is the heater, so we don't need to worry about that unless it's winter. But the rest of them, we're going to go ahead and kick on. ACs, racks, basically the whole gamut of stuff. And then I think
those two are inside lights and these are outside lights.
So we got our lights here.
Yeah, I usually don't worry about the outside lights unless it's dark outside.
If it's dark outside, you wouldn't be able to see your video camera probably. So, but we don't need those for now. Those are outside. So turn it on.
Show it again, Larry, where you turned it on at.
Okay, right here. So we were off position, now we're in the on position. And this is the antenna controller. Inside of here we've got mode. Right now we're in stow mode. So we're gonna go mode and then deploy, which is number 1. Then we come over here and watch this thing pop up. I think it's gonna probably go to what, 0 degrees. So let's get this part going. These are labeled horizontal, vertical, and since we're on the horizontal,
right now you want to go ahead and start transmitting, so you can start heating up the amps.
Okay, so we're gonna go
transmit. Yep.
Transmit.
Transmit there.
Transmit.
You turn on your RFs.
We're gonna turn on
you have to pull them out. You flip them up.
Oh, you pull them out a little bit. So you pull these out just a little bit and push them up. Now we are kind of in transmit mode, but we're on a dummy load because
transmit, and these are orange.
What happens is it says orange is a dummy. So if these two orange lights, if I were to go like this, it would actually go to green and it would start pushing through. But we haven't bought time, so we can't do that now. But we push both of these over to where they turn green. These ones are on the horizontal, which is what we want.
Actually, this one you only push one or the other, whichever side you're transmitting, horizontal or vertical.
God, that's right. Okay, I didn't know that. Okay, so that's new to me. So if you're going to do the horizontal, you'd need to push this one over, but if it was the vertical, you'd push this one or the other. So it'd basically just be this one. And I guess this just controls both power amps. It's like, okay, and it's kind of screwy. Just be aware that the horizontal kind of goes like this on this side. This is horizontal on the left. If I go like this, it's now vertical there.
So where it's sending the power.
Is where it's sending the power, and that's on your polarization. Okay, so now we got backup. Okay, primary right here. That's the SDI coming into the truck. That's the main one we want to use. The backup is an analog, which is the other exciter. So if we were to push it up like this, that's your backup. We don't want that. We want it on primary. The backup is something different. And then let's take a look here. I think we're ready to go. Then we get on the phone.
Yep.
All right.
So they have an access number on here.
So we'll have an access number,
which is here. So at the beginning of the night, when we're ready to go, call this, identify yourself. Grant with Syscom or Larry with Syscom. I'm looking to access satellite AMC 16 transponder K21 slot A9. Okay. They go through their paperwork and verify, okay, looks like we have you going up on 144065. They actually will read that back to you. I always like to verify, okay, that's the horizontal side and my downlink is, because I've had a show where they had a typo in the paperwork.
They had a typo in the
and the downlink was wrong.
So verify all the information.
Yeah, just the uplink and downlink, symbol rate they don't care about.
Okay, gotcha.
Symbol rate is just for KMYU to be able to access it.
Your bit rate or whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
and then transponder K21 slot A9. Perfect. So then, okay, so then we come over here on the phone.
Yep. And while you're still on the phone,
And
once
they're
you
gonna
verified
say,
all that,
turn on the carrier. Now, wait a minute. I'm not going to do anything because we're still on dummy load, right? Okay, yeah, we're still on
so
dummy load.
at that point, he'd say, go ahead
Turn on
and
the
bring up
carrier.
carrier.
So we turn up carrier by
But
pushing.
you got to bring this first, so you're transmitting.
Okay, yeah, so we have to get that so it is transmitting. So we don't want to do it now, but we would push this over so these two go green
On the horizontal side.
on the horizontal side because that's what it's asking for. And we'll be pushing 600 watts through the system, so he's going to get it. And he's going to say, turn carrier on. So we're going to go.
Let me see if I can find you a carrier signal here so you know what it looks like.
Okay. It's just going to be a little blip. And he'll say, give me a carrier, and that's the top button right here.
Yep. So
then we got
carrier on.
Carrier on, and then he's going to say, bring operator up,
Bring operating power.
and that's going to go to 0 dBm.
Okay, I don't have this here, but this spike here will actually come up to about here. It'll bump up the spike quite a bit.
Because it'll go, basically you'll be adding a 20 dB
20
gain
dB.
to it.
Yep.
And then you go modulation.
Yep. When he says modulate,
On.
modulate.
Now it's pushing the carrier and the modulation up.
So now I'd
you'll
be
have
sending something a little bit
Similar.
wider than that.
Yeah.
He might say it's too hot, or bring it down a couple dB, or add a couple more dB.
If he says bring it up because it's too hot, there's this gain right here.
Gains on both. I try and keep these, like this one's
20.1.
the hell?
Sorry, not good.
Just never noticed that on when I'm sending to a dummy load before.
We turned off.
But anyways, this one's pushing 20. This one isn't pushing anything, or at least it's not saying it is, but it has to be if we're pushing 46.
Maybe it's getting a little warm.
Could be.
So these are the gains. So anyways,
So
we're done.
we can turn that down. You see it change here.
Yep. Or bring it up.
We'll bring it back up. I'll leave it back up at 20 since that's where I had it before.
Probably what's happening is recycling through that dummy load. Okay, and that's it, pretty much.
And the end of the night, you call them back, say I'm ready to shut down for the night. Basically identify yourself again, say this is where I'm at, I'm ready to shut down. Say okay,
And
go ahead and bring down.
So our first item of business of bringing it down is what?
Over here, I actually step all the way back through it backwards.
Backwards. Okay.
So I'd go turn off the modulation,
Okay.
then drop my power,
Yep.
and then I can watch it over there.
Yep.
Drop completely down. At this point, he'd say, okay, you're good nighted, blah, blah, blah.
So then we turn off these next.
Yeah, you can turn off those and
Transmit.
take those to standby and bring this back to orange. So it's back,
This back to
dummy
orange.
load.
Okay. And once that's back to orange on dummy load, we got 3 buttons to turn off.
Except I'd want to leave those on for
15 minutes.
50 minutes to cool down.
Okay. Sorry, so we don't turn those off yet. We leave them on for 15 minutes. So we're going to go ahead and do that while we miss the rest of
Mostly, I start packing up the rest of the truck. There's a vent out here, right here, that you can feel the hot air coming out of.
Oh, and if you still feel it hot.
Yeah, it's going to be warm no matter what.
Okay.
But at times it's really hot.
But if it's really hot, let these run until it doesn't feel hot. Okay.
Yep.
And then just housekeeping items. This TV right here is for DirecTV.
Yep.
Right?